Welcome to Delicious Bake Club. My name's Anna Polyviou and I'm here today to rock it in the kitchen with you guys. We're making my famous Roll Me chocolate cake. It's a chocolate flourless sponge, chocolate mousse, rolled, glazed, and a nice snap of chocolate. This recipe is from my cookbook Sweet Street and you can also get it on delicious.com.au. So the first step is my chocolate glaze. So you really need to make this in advance, so the day before. So you need a medium pot. I'm going to put my cream, my water, my sugar and my glucose into the pot. Then get your whisk and whisk it all together. Bring it to the boil. But meanwhile, I also need to soften my 4 sheets of gelatin in ice water. My gelatin has softened, so I'm just going to squeeze all the water excess out, leave it aside until the end of my glaze. So take it off the stove top and then whisk in your sifted cocoa powder and then return it back onto the heat. So my glaze has come to the boil. I'm taking off the heat, adding in my softened gelatin, whisk it in, then I'm going to put it into my glass bowl. Then with a stick blender, we're going to blend it together. So with some cling wrap, you're just going to put it on top, and the whole point of that is so it doesn't form skin. We're going to put it in the fridge for 24 hours. Guys, next step is the chocolate mousse. It's silky, it's smooth, and it's delicious. First step, add our sugar, water, and bring it to 121. And meanwhile, I'm also going to put my egg yolk and egg inside the bowl. And start whisking on a high speed. Our sugar should already be to 121. Add it in gradually. So right now, it's all light, it's fluffy, chocolate's all melted, and I'm going to slowly and gradually fold it through. And then I slightly semi-whisk my cream, and now I'm just going to fold that through too. So once everything's in the bowl, it's all folded through beautifully. I'm just going to transfer it into the bowl. We'll also clean wrap it so nothing spills over your bowl. We'll just place it into the fridge for an hour. So step 3 is basically our chocolate flourless sponge. Let's get started. Egg white in the machine. I'm going to speed it up. And once it starts becoming light and fluffy, I'm going to gradually add my sugar. So over here, I've got my cocoa powder. It's already been sifted, and it's really important. Otherwise, you're going to have those chunks in there. So when you're folding it through, it's going to capture all that, and we don't want that. And just gradually add it into 3 stages. So as you can see, all the cocoa powder's been combined. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my yolk. It's going to make it even richer with the sponge, so it's great. And again in 3 stages. I'm going to pour my sponge into my tray. It's light, it's fluffy. So now I'm just going to spread it to the ends. Don't play around with it too much because you're going to knock out the air. So I'm going to bake my sponge at 190 for about 8 minutes. Oh, this smells so good. I wish you guys could smell it. So I've transferred onto the wire rack and I'm going to allow it to cool completely. Guys, we're going to temper our chocolate. We're going to put it in the microwave and we're going to melt it down by 3/4. I got that in. So while the chocolate's melting, I've set up a tray. So it's a flat tray. I've oiled it slightly. I've got clear paper. I'm going to stick it down. Okay guys, so my chocolate has tempered up to 31 degrees. I'm going to pour it onto my tray, use a palette knife, and evenly coat the tray. So as you can see, it's starting to set already. So what we want to do is get some baking paper, put it on top, and then another flat tray, must be flat, on top of that, so it doesn't bubble up. Guys, put it aside, make sure it's not near a hot area, and don't need to put it into the fridge, just leave it sit at room temperature. Now the fun part, the rolling in chocolate. Chocolate sponge right here, baking paper. Flip the sponge. What you do need though is this sponge over here that was baked on needs to be on the other side. This is what we're going to glaze on, so we need to flip this on again. Chocolate mousse, lob it in the middle. There we go, we're going to spread it right to the ends. Okay, so next step is we're going to start rolling it away from us. So start going that way, push it down. We're pushing the paper to make it really tight. Now I'm going to place this in the freezer so I can firm up, so I can put my glaze on top. So the next step, and one of the last steps, is glazing my chocolate roulade cake. So let's start. Unwrap. Check it out. So the glaze temperature, you have to hit it at 32 degrees, otherwise it's going to be too hot, it's going to run everywhere. Now we pour. So going in the middle, making sure you go to right around the roulade. It's a little bit thick, but you need it to be thick, otherwise it's going to slide everywhere. As you can see, it's all glazed evenly. Just give it a bit of a tap. The finale, the assembling section, a hot knife. So cut off the edge And can you see that beautiful roulade there? That is sexy. So then you want to cut about 2.5 centimeters and make sure to clean your knife every time you do it as well. So peel back the plastic. Chocolate shard, I'm going to snap it and just still build around my roulade. Look at that, it's rolled. Guys, you see my tricks and my tips on roll me in chocolate cake. Now it's your turn. I want you guys to replicate this. Get your phone out, take a photo of my cake. Should I say your cake? Because you're gonna make this. For all the information you need for today, get onto delicious.com.au/bake club.